Hello everyone. Today we're going to do a review about Behr's Premium Interior Exterior Granite Grit Paint. We actually got this from Home Depot. When we went in store they had gray and a tan base available. But when we checked online they actually had quite a few different colors. So if there's something else that you're looking for, you might want to try online first. But we were actually going for gray, so this worked out well. We were thinking that maybe for our small patio area that we have, it might take 1, maybe 2 gallons, but we were definitely wrong. Normally they say a lot goes a long way, but in this specific situation, unfortunately that's not the case. This paint tends to go on very thick, and it's not exactly the easiest to apply. A lot of people have been commenting about how it's difficult to apply, and I 100% agree. Even though it states to use a adhesive roller, even the adhesive roller does not make things very fun, to say the least. But as you can see, it is kind of gritty and it's pretty thick. So in order to get that grit, I mean, it makes sense that it has to go on the way that it does, but the final product hopefully will be a lot better than the actual process that we've been going through. So I'll show you kind of what we started with. What we did initially is our patio itself is kind of gritty to begin with, but we pressure washed it first. That's what it was before. We're hoping that we'll be able to move the grill over once we get most of the rest of the patio done so that we can get that area. So that's what we had initially. Then we pressure washed it to get it to this point. And as you can see, it's kind of gritty in itself. And the application video, they say to make sure that it's kind of like a sandpaper consistency. So we had actually achieved that just with the pressure wash itself. So we didn't need to use any other type of cleaner or anything like that. So when we were applying it, what we did is we did the border initially with a brush. And we went ahead and we did 2 coats on the border. As you can see, some areas aren't done as well, but we're going to go back over this area anyway. But it was a lot easier to go around the border with a brush and get it to somewhat of a nice consistency. But when we use the roller, you can see it, the first base coat turned out to be a little patchy, and I believe that in their application video they said that that's fine because it's the base coat, it's not going to come out to cover all the areas anyway. You can see a darker line in the middle here, and that's actually where we had a crack. So we went through and we addressed the crack first by putting in basically a layer of the paint. We let that dry and then we did the base coat on top of it. Now, as you can see, this is actually the second layer that's going down, and it's going down with the adhesive roller. And I promise it's a lot more difficult than it actually seems in the video right now. Just to get it to be somewhat of a consistent layer, I mean, you actually have to put quite a bit of pressure. We ended up breaking 2 sticks. So when you do apply this, make sure that the connector between the roll and the stick itself is metal. That way you can put a little bit more force into it, because you kind of have to put some oomph to get it to come out to be somewhat even. So when you're actually dipping the brush into the paint, make sure that if it drips anywhere that you go ahead and address it at that time, because otherwise it forms a nice little clump like this one that is really difficult to get rid of if you can at all. Otherwise it just becomes a nice little decoration on your patio in itself. So in the video they were talking about using the roller, and we actually went through a couple of different videos, and some people were saying that, you know, they're using the paint tray in order to put the paint in and then dip the roller in there. But what we found to be easier is to actually just dump the paint onto the patio and then spread it out that way. It makes it one less thing to do. but you need to make sure that you're going in and rolling it right away, otherwise it leaves patches and then it's hard to get out. Another little tidbit is that this stuff splatters like crazy, so it's all over our pants, all over our shoes, kind of all over our hands and everything. So be prepared to have it be a not very clean experience, but we'll see what it looks like when we're actually done. So we're still working on the second coat. As you can see, part of it's drying pretty quickly. So the second coat, what I would recommend is if you have someone else that can help you, when you're done rolling, if you can see there's like little patches here that it hasn't actually taken the paint. So what we've been doing is we're just kind of going back through and then patching it up and then going back over it with the roller so that it's not patchy. And that'll actually help make it a little bit more even. So this is still taking quite a while, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll post this video, and then we'll get you another one for the final outcome. All right, thanks guys. Bye.